Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are diving straight into a completely timeless tale about two very different woodcutters facing the exact same divine test. It's a really dynamic story that puts human nature right under the microscope. We're looking at two individuals, identical circumstances, but totally opposite choices. Let's get right into it. So what actually happens when honesty is put to the ultimate test? I mean, it's pretty easy to tell the truth when everything's going your way, right? But this story sets up some incredibly high emotional and financial stakes. We start off with a poor woodcutter. He's just working near a river when suddenly his axe, which is his literal only tool for feeding his family, slips from his hands and sinks into the deep water. The stakes literally couldn't be higher for him. You can just feel the real-world consequences of losing this simple iron axe crushing him. He cries out in total despair, saying, "Oh my God, my axe fell into the water. Now how will I earn money and feed my family?" This isn't just a bad day at work. This is a devastating, life-altering crisis, and he has absolutely zero safety net. He is genuinely weeping out loud. But then, out of nowhere, something miraculous happens. Drawn by the loud crying, Varun Dev, the god of water, suddenly appears. Picture this booming, powerful, yet entirely tranquil presence rising right out of the river. Varun Dev sees this weeping child and, after hearing his tragic story, promises to help him get his livelihood back. Okay, let's dive into this. Varun Deva doesn't just hand him his axe back right away. Instead, he kicks off a three-part test. Step 1, he dips into the river and pulls out a shining golden axe, offering it to the woodcutter. Step 2, he dives again and brings up a solid silver axe. And finally, step 3, he retrieves the original iron axe. It's this perfectly structured sequence that playfully builds the rhythm of this whole divine test. What is absolutely wild here is the woodcutter's steadfast refusal of those first two axes. When Varun Dev shows him the gold and then the silver, he immediately says, No, it is not mine. He doesn't even hesitate. He explicitly clarifies that his axe is just made of iron. He's turning down unimaginable wealth right on the spot because it simply isn't the truth. When the iron axe finally comes up, the woodcutter is just overjoyed. And this is where the whole dynamic shifts. Varun Dev is incredibly impressed by this pure, unshakable honesty. So he doesn't just give the iron axe back. He ends up rewarding the very happy woodcutter with all three axes, the iron, the silver, and the gold, to take home. Highlight Varun Dev's exact words here because they establish the baseline rule of this entire fable. He tells the woodcutter, "This is a reward for your honesty." It's clear as day, genuine truthfulness yields massive, unforeseen rewards. The universe, or the god of water in this case, recognizes and tangibly rewards those who keep their integrity, especially under immense pressure. But, as you might guess, the story doesn't end there. We transition now to a parallel narrative. The newly wealthy woodcutter goes home and tells his friends all about this miracle. Unsurprisingly, one of those friends is incredibly greedy. He hears the story and instantly decides he wants a golden axe too. So, the very next day, the greedy copycat strikes. Let's break down this guy's calculated, theatrical manipulation. First, he goes to the exact same spot at the river. He climbs a tree. Then he intentionally just drops his own axe right into the water. After that, he fakes a total crisis, screaming, "Oh, my axe! Someone please come to help me!" completely faking it just to summon the deity. And remarkably, the manipulation actually seems to work at first. Hearing the weeping, Varun Dev appears before the copycat. But the sequence changes this time. Varun Dev immediately presents him with a gleaming golden axe right out of the gate and asks him straight up if it belongs to him. The trap is officially set. And this brilliantly illustrates the total contrast between these two men. When faced with the gold, the honest woodcutter said, No, it is not mine." But the greedy woodcutter, completely blinded by the thought of instant wealth, he immediately blurts out, Yes, this is my axe." Greed totally overrides his logic, pulling him into an instant lie, right to the water god's face. Well, as you can imagine, Varun Dev is very, very upset. He sees right through the lie instantly. He delivers this swift and severe judgment, saying, "You are very greedy and dishonest. Now you will not get anything." And just like that, with total finality, Varun Dev becomes invisible, disappearing back into the water. So, the crucial point is just how devastatingly this backfires. The cost of his dishonesty is total. He doesn't get the golden axe he lied for. He loses his own original axe that he threw in the water on purpose.
And he has to return home entirely empty-handed. His greedy plan cost him literally everything he started with.
If we walk through this summary, it's basically mathematical proof of the fable's thesis. Look at the honest woodcutter. He refused riches and told the truth, and as a result, he gained his iron axe plus silver and gold, a massive net positive. Then look at the greedy woodcutter. He lied to steal, lost his original axe, and gained nothing. It's a complete loss. Let's move to and see how this builds our core takeaway for today's explainer. Always be honest, because honesty is always rewarded. Taking the honest path is always the winning strategy. The source material makes it totally undeniable that integrity isn't just a nice concept. It's the only foundation that actually holds up when it's truly tested. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. What choice will you make when the water god is the only one watching? It's super easy to tell the truth when the whole world is looking, but when you're totally alone and an easy, unearned gain is staring you right in the face, what then? Really reflect on your own integrity today, guys. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.